right. Welcome in, Leo. Welcome. Happy birthday to you. Let's check out what's going on. This is a reading for the end of July. There definitely has been a lot going on here in July astrologically. So I'll take you through in more detail in the extended if you're interested. I'm gonna drop deep into your forecast. We do have a new moon in your sign of Leo, which we always do this time of year. We always do. But this time of year, this year, that new moon is talking very loudly to all the outer planets. So that makes, in astrological terms, energetic terms, that makes this new moon very, very powerful. We also have Mercury retrograding in your sign. So lots going on here. Especially if you're a Leo rising, that's in your first house of self-identity and, who I'm presenting to the world, who I think I am versus maybe who I'm becoming. All right. So we're going to take a look at that in more deeply in the extended, but let's look right now at the tarot reading for you for the end of July. We've got magic underneath. Okay, all of a sudden, Pippin, we got magic to do just for you. Release. There's definitely something about, oh yeah, I'm getting a lot of spirit chills on that. You have a lot of protection. You have a lot of protection right now. And that's a really amazing thing. Air sign and past life. All right. Everything that's happening to you right now is tied to past life experiences. Things may not make sense to you logically. And, but what you're doing is you're clearing generations of karmic debt. Okay. And you're being protected. You're being protected, Leo. Just want to say that right out of the gate. Let's keep shuffling to see what's coming up for my Leos. End of July. At the end of July, we also have Chiron going retrograde in Aries. And that's going to hit your 9th house of belief systems. So there's definitely something about you are, based on what you're experiencing, I feel like your belief systems will be changing. So you might have believed for a long time that, maybe people are out to get you, or essentially everybody's good at their core. And those beliefs change because of whatever's going on now. What I feel like is going on now is absolutely confounding you. There's a missing chapter. And the reason there's a missing chapter is it's the past life chapter. So what all that means energetically, if you're brand new to my channel, hey, and what that means is that if things don't make sense to you right now, it's because this energetic experience you're having is closing the loop on something that was either perpetrated on you or you perpetrated in a past life. And now we're getting a lot of clearing energy. Hi. All right. Underneath is the 9 of Swords, the 6 of Swords, the 9 of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and this 3 of Wands. So I keep getting this kind of like, I'm turning my back and walking away. I'm letting go of something. I want to let go of something. I want it to be done. 9 of Wands and the Knight of Swords. Somebody keeps coming back, or this lesson keeps coming back, or something keeps coming back. And you're like, okay, I'm releasing this. Don't want this anymore. Why does this keep coming back around? And I feel like it has to do with this, the true meaning of the word release. It's like you can't hold on to any of it. You've really got to let it all go. Like if you're stepping into a new identity, you can't hold on to a belief system that kind of contradicts this new you. So if you have felt that you could only count on you, like hyper individualism and hyper independence, and I can only count on me, you're stepping into maybe a new relationship or a new experience that is kind of flying in the face of that. You might need other people. And so it's keep coming around to you because there's some decision that you're trying to make, but you're not seeing really the whole story because a lot of it is this past life energy. So whatever doesn't make sense to you right now, I want you to do a little bit of journaling of like, okay, why do I keep having this pattern? Why does this, and why do I keep choosing self-abandoning behavior? There's some things that don't make sense. And they're subconscious. Like you might think you have this sort of intention, but it's really being driven by your subconscious. And if, the more stuff we have driving our life subconsciously, the more victim-y we feel. The more we feel like things are out of control, right? The more we feel like we can't affect any change. That is because there's a lot of stuff under the surface for you that hasn't been brought into your consciousness. And once it's been brought to your consciousness, oh, I keep attracting narcissists because I was either dealing with one in a past life, or there's someone that pattern was not cleared in a past life, and I need to look at that. It could have reverberations more than what's going on right now. It could have reverberations to childhood and things like that. So you are going to want to look at that. But this feels like something that's trying to come up from your subconscious to be released. And I feel like the universe wants you to know that you are being protected while you're doing this. Okay. So 2 of Pentacles, on the cusp of some kind of big decision here. Page of Cups. Hi, Mace. 10 of Swords. So this is going to be over. It feels like it's gone on forever. This is going to be over. 4 of Wands. The Sun. Love it. There's your card right in the middle. And the 4 of Pentacles. What are you trying to hold on to here? Queen of Cups, the Star, and the 5 of Wands. So there is a fight in front of you. It's showing up in your subconscious. It's maybe showing up in dreams. Maybe you're having these little weird like premonitions of something that's going to be ending, and you're trying to hold on to some of it. You need to let it all go. So let's just say that you're ending a relationship, but there's some conversation about, but let's stay friends. Or I'm going to keep doing what I was doing, even though I'm not really learning the lesson of this relationship. I think I am, but it's subconscious to me still. This is a healing card down here. And it has to do with your heart. It has to do with some kind of naivete about how you got into this situation. And you may have abandoned yourself. And so that behavior has to go 100%. There's something here maybe about money or about resources that you didn't come in with this resource or with this capability, and now it has to be released in order for you to move to the next chapter. Okay, what might that be? Because there's somebody fighting you here. Maybe Aquarius. That's you, Leo. Which is the opposite sign. Interesting. The Magician, the Queen of Swords, the 7 of Pentacles, and the 9 of Pentacles. You are going to be able to manifest something better. So holding on to a situation, especially holding on to money, holding on to resources, holding on to property, holding on to something, that thing has to go in order for you to step into this new life. And I feel like Spirit is saying to you, you're protected and you're going to be able to create something even better. So let this go. You don't want this person to stay in your life. Okay. You don't want this chapter, this energetic, nothing about this needs to stay. The thing that might stay, or the thing that would be helpful for you to stay, is more ephemeral, right? Lessons or insights or aha moments, but the rest of it, the physical sense of it, and I'm going to say some kind of feelings, that's the thing that needs to be closed up or sort of boxed up, let go of. So if you have been in a love relationship and you kind of say, well, I'll always love this person, I feel like that is going to drag along behind you. That's baggage. And it's like, no, I loved that person at one time. And that's the me that holds that love for this person. Okay. Like this person's going out of my life and I want them to go out of my life. It needs to be over. It needs to be ending. But you don't need to drag along the baggage of like, oh, I'll always love this person or something like that, because you're becoming somebody totally new. And it's not that you have to hack off your feelings or anything like that. But I feel like you need to maybe look at it differently and say, for me to move on in my life, I'm trying to move on. And if this person knows that I feel the way I feel about them, they likely will come back. For others of you, it's not the person that's going to come back, it's this pattern. And so I feel like you need to look at, what does that mean? What do your feelings indicate? Especially if the relationship was not good or was toxic or something like that. Maybe this person also is somebody that you didn't really like. If you've heard yourself say, that person is not who I thought they were, then did you really love that person? Or did you love the experience of that person? And I feel like that's a meaningful distinction. This is really getting up close with your feelings and what did they mean, and putting them in their proper place. You can also say, well, this is a version of me that I'm stepping out of now. This is Mercury. So we have Mercury in retrograde in your sign of Leo. And this is looking at who you have been and who you're becoming. So Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. Gemini is about communication. It's about the language we use. And so Mercury retrograde is about the language we use inside. If you're kind of saying that the version of me that loved this person is no longer, which I feel like is what's happening here, then that is a feeling that belongs in the past. The me that loved you is a version of me that I'm leaving in the past. I'm not going to drag that along into other relationships. What I am going to do is I am going to learn about that. I am going to learn about whatever this was. I'm going to spend some time creating the new me. And even if I think I've already done that, which you may feel that way, that I almost feel like there's going to be a moment in time that comes along during this Mercury retrograde that's going to cause you to look at this again and see the past life energetic lesson that's being expressed to you right now. Okay, so let's go deeper. I will talk more about the astrology. Let's talk about houses and what that means for you, especially if you are a Leo rising or a Leo sun, but mostly a Leo rising. All right, link is below if you want to continue on with me. If this is your reading, let's see where we go from here and what you don't see coming. I'll see you over there. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.